Hey guys, Jamstrap here and welcome back to another Which Army Should You Play video. The series where I give you a brief rundown about what an army is about, what they're like on the tabletop, their playstyle, and what's the kind of like discount ways to get into them. You know, just a brief rundown if you're kind of curious, just to push you in either direction. And as always, this is not about tournaments and power gaming and stuff, this is just the rule of cool. Now, as you guys can probably see at this point, today we're talking about the Grey Knights. The counterparts to the Thousand Suns, the lead to the elite, and that's actually a reason why I made this video, because last week I did the Should You Play Death Watch. And they're kind of like the elite spec ops squad of the Imperium that goes after aliens, the Xenos. You know, they're great at taking them out, killing them, getting rid of them. Whereas the Grey Knights are similar to that, but instead of aliens and Xenos, they go after demons and anything sort of like psychic related. And that's because every single guy in this army is some sort of psyker. And that's what makes this army so elite and so cool. They're a tier just above Space Marines. I mean, I don't know if they're the same kind of place as Custodes, but they're above Space Marines, and I don't know, they're like a weird mix in between. So yeah, they're definitely extremely elite psychic badasses. So yeah, so seeming that I'm gushing already, let's jump straight into the pros and what they're all about. Now, one of the greatest things about them, well, because they're called Grey Knights, they do really have that old school, like, crusading knight kind of vibe with their helmets and all that kind of stuff. So you can see this would be your standard kind of troop squad, which, by the way, another great point of these, if you love Terminators, this is definitely the army for you because they can have Terminators as troops. So these guys over here can just be your standard troops if you want. I mean, are they looking a bit dated at this point? I don't know. I think they still look pretty sweet. I mean, they're a bit older, but yeah, those helmets are incredible. Definitely some of the more detailed and amazing Space Marine kits around. Like I said, like those guys just being your standard troops is pretty sweet. Yeah, and even these guys here. So basically, your bog standard kind of weaponry is like a force sword, a force weapon of some sort, and a storm bolter. That's pretty like your bog standard weaponry. Like I said, because everybody is extremely psychically potent as well, that means that when it comes to playstyle, Grey Knights absolutely dominate the psychic phase. Now they do pretty well obviously in close combat. They're a mid to close combat kind of army. I don't think they have too much when it comes to long range thing. But like I said, where they don't have long range, they have the psychic power. So you're absolutely pummeling your opponent in the psychic phase. Everybody's blasting out mind bullets, slowly coming up to the field and smashing people with their force swords. And to be honest, that's pretty much the playstyle for them. I mean, they don't have too much choice, which might be a bit of a con for you guys. I mean, they don't have like any of the new Primaris Marine stuff, obviously, because they're not really normal Marines. They're a breed on their own. But I mean, if you like Grey Knights, you like that lore, the aesthetic, the playstyle, Primaris don't really go with that anyway. So yeah, let's look at some of the characters and stuff as well, because they got some badass things. I mean, they got the baby carrier, as people call it. I think this is one of the models you either love it or hate it. Some people don't like the little marine getting carried there. They say it looks like a baby carrier. I don't know if it's exactly my kind of thing, but I mean, if someone said they'd buy it for me, I definitely would not say no, because I think it's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, these guys are super cool, because every single one of these guys can absolutely destroy legions of chaos and demons and stuff like that. Now, one thing I should say is, because you might see, oh, there's not many options here, like where all the Grey Knight things, but your strike squad here, they can be built into like that's just your troop squad, but you can also build out some of your more elites out of this. You'll have different weapon options and stuff in there as well to build up there. Same with your Terminator squads. So you've got your Paladins here. All these kits kind of help you build out different units, and these Paladins are badass as well. This would be an absolutely amazing kit if you want to like kit bash up some dudes. And I just realized actually that guy's got a bloodletter head there as well. So he's just severed a demon's head. So you just got to think, crusading space knights with psychic powers fighting down demons. I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, another thing that could be classed as a pro or a con, they're an extremely elite army, so you're not going to have many guys on the field. Now, that can be a bit of a con sometimes, because these guys are quite expensive. You got very little of them on the table. So if any of them die, it is a pretty big blow to your army. So yeah, if you lose one guy, you're losing quite a lot. But because they're elite And because they have a pretty simple color scheme, if you stick to that color, just silver, like 90% silver, a couple of golds and stuff like that. And because they're elite, you can get these guys on the tabletop really quick. I mean, blast them with some silver, a couple of washes, and fill in the details, and you're pretty much done if you want to. Obviously, you can go the extra step, but yeah, that's definitely a pro right there. Now, they do have some extremely powerful characters like Caldo Drago, all that kind of stuff. Now, one thing I forgot to mention when it comes to actually like pros and cons and playstyle, because they, like I said, they dominate the psychic phase. But there's also a thing called Perils of the Warp. I mean, this is a rules-based thing, so who knows when this will change or whatever, but basically they can kind of like their psychic powers can backfire on them and stuff like that, so that can be a kind of a dangerous thing on occasion. But like I said, I'm not going to go too much into the rules-based things. But yeah, I don't think there's too much to cover here. I mean, they don't have many models. Their playstyle is pretty straightforward. Like I said, they're Terminators, so they can teleport in. So they teleport in, blast a couple rounds with the Storm Bolters, get up in close combat, hitting people with psychic powers, and you've got that sweet Crusader Knight vibe. Very elite as well. So yeah, if you want to be purging demons in your lethal warband, then there's definitely the army for you. And I'm sure at some point in the next year or two, they'll probably get quite a lot of love, because they definitely need some refreshing and stuff like that. So yeah, if any of you guys are like experienced Grey Knight players, definitely comment below how you think somebody might want to get started in the army, or some of the things they need to look out for. So if anybody reads the comments, they can get that extra information. Now, usually towards the end of my videos, I go through like what's the discount way of getting into the army. But unfortunately, there isn't anything for Grey Knights. There's no start collecting box. There's no little battle force, nothing. So if you want to get into this army, I'd recommend getting like a box or two of Grey Knight like strike squads or Terminators. Obviously, you probably get more because, like I said, they build up your elites as well. You know, then you want to get some of your characters. You know, get Caldo Drago, Master Voldus over here. You know, get two characters, or maybe you can get like a chaplain or Terminators, whatever you want. You know, get some dreadnoughts, whatever you want to do. But definitely get two of these nice character HQ guys, maybe some bog standard ones for the points. Two troop choices, but like I said, the troop choices in here are extremely elite and badass. So they're not like standard boring troops. They're really sweet. Get some of them. Get your Nemesis Dread Knight, and Bob's your uncle. But yeah, no discount options, unfortunately. So yeah, not sure if I missed anything, guys. I'm not the biggest expert on Grey Knights. Like I said, psychic battle mages in space, crusading around, killing demons, elite, easy to paint, very thematic on the battlefield. I think you can craft really great stories with these guys as well. And yeah, some of the cons, you know, they're elite, so if you die, it can be a bit of a problem. They've only got that like mid to close range combat, nothing too long range, so you got to get up the table really quick. But luckily, most of them have teleporting abilities or tanks and stuff like that to get them up the field. So it's not exactly a con, it's just something you kind of have to watch out for. And yeah, I think I'm probably going to leave it there. I don't know what else to say about them. They're just a really unique, cool army, and I definitely recommend it if you want to start them. So yeah, like I said, comment below what you guys think of this, or if you want to start them, or if you got any extra information. Like and comment below, and maybe check out my channel and subscribe if you haven't already, because I release hobby content similar to this every single week. Until then, guys, see you in the next one. Bye bye.